Long before the existence of the Motion Picture Association film rating system, and before the Motion Picture Production Code, there was a film industry that made almost whatever it wanted. Writers and directors ran wild, telling stories and adapting material from books. The subject of sex came up, the flapper was center stage, and the film industry was responding to prohibition. It was scandals throughout Hollywood that would cause people to talk and for the industry to take action. Before this, there were accidental deaths, unsolved murders, and serious accusations. These were the scandals before the Hays Code. An illustrator model in 1914 before being voted the most beautiful girl in New York, Olive Thomas joined the Ziegfeld Follies shortly thereafter. In 1916, she began her successful career as an actress in silent films. Over the course of her 4-year career, Thomas appeared in 20 movies. First to immortalize the flapper on screen, Olive Thomas's reputation has been shrouded in the accidental overdose that took her life on September 10, 1920. While on a second honeymoon with her husband Jack Pickford, actor and brother to Mary Pickford, Olive Thomas took mercury dichloride, mistaking it for aspirin. She died 5 days after ingesting what many believe to be Pickford's syphilis medication. Considered one of the first Hollywood scandals, Thomas's death was ruled an accident, but the newspapers continued to publicly speculate. The rumor mill churned, with some gossip brags claiming the death of Olive Thomas was a murder at the hands of her husband, Jack Pickford, or that Thomas died by suicide after a fight with Pickford. Considering the couple were enjoying a vacation together, it is easy to believe that Thomas would mistakenly pick up her husband's medication and take it, accidentally overdosing on what she originally thought was aspirin. What happened that night was an accident that would take one life, change another, and create chaos in the film industry. Fatty Arbuckle was a beloved comedian who worked as a director, actor, and screenwriter in silent films. Unfortunately, the actions of others would lead to a trial that would ruin Arbuckle's career and his reputation. On September 5, 1921, Arbuckle drove to San Francisco with Lowell Sherman and Fred Fishback. They checked into 3 rooms at the St. Francis Hotel. Arbuckle and Fishback took 1219, Sherman took 1221, and 1220 was designated as a party room. During a party, 30-year-old aspiring actress Virginia Rapp was found ill in room 1219. She was examined by the hotel doctor, who concluded that her symptoms were caused by intoxication, and he gave her morphine to help her calm down. Rapp was eventually hospitalized 2 days after the incident. Once at the hospital, Bambina Maud Delmont, a friend of Rapp's, told the doctor that Arbuckle had SA'd her friend. The doctor who examined her had found no evidence that a rape had occurred. She died 1 day later from peritonitis caused by a ruptured bladder. Rapp suffered from chronic urinary tract infections, a condition that liquor irritated. Delmont would then go on to tell the police that Arbuckle had sexually assaulted Rapp. The police concluded that the weight of Arbuckle was too much for Rapp when he was on top of her, and this caused her bladder to rupture. Rapp's manager went on to make further accusations, and newspapers began sensationalizing the case, making up various incidents. William Randolph Hearst reaped the benefits after reporting viciously on the apparent events of that evening. The sensationalism of the accusations made against Arbuckle ended his career and ruined his personal life. After 3 trials, Arbuckle was acquitted of all charges, but the damage was already done. On February 2, 1922, famed director William Desmond Taylor was found dead with a gunshot to the back. He was face down in the living room of his Hollywood bungalow when the officers arrived to find others rummaging through his things. His death was immediately ruled a homicide, and it was later determined that Taylor's former girlfriend, Mabel Normand, was the last one to see him alive. Taylor's murder caused a scandal that led to a decline in the careers of both Mabel Normand and 19-year-old Mary Miles Minter, who had quickly fallen in love with Taylor. The papers sensationalized Taylor's murder, even going so far as to print love letters that Minter had written to Taylor. The love was unrequited, and Taylor had told her via a letter that she was far too young for him. Rumors persisted, and the belief that either Mabel Normand or Miles Minter was involved in the murder, caused the decline of both of their careers. To this day, William Desmond Taylor's death remains a mystery, but there are two strong theories that remain. It is believed by many that Charlotte Shelby murdered Taylor after finding her daughter marry Miles Minter in his house. She was controlling and disapproving of her daughter's relationship with the much older man, even though he was no more than a mentor to Minter. She was unaware that the feelings her daughter had for Taylor were not requited. Mabel Normand, who was believed to have an addiction to cocaine, wanted to get clean, and Taylor vowed to help her. The dealers, hearing of this, caused them to hire someone to kill Taylor. It was Taylor's death that solidified the belief by others outside Hollywood that the city and the industry was depraved. Taylor's murder was a nail in the coffin of early Hollywood freedom, and it would eventually lead to the censorship of the Hays Code. Hollywood is ripe with scandals these days. With the internet and social media, anything can become a scandal, whether it lasts for one day or 1 year. Misinformation spreads like wildfire, and it seems that things back then weren't much different than they are today. When the papers got a hold of the death of William Desmond Taylor, the incident regarding the death of Virginia Rapp and the accusations against Fatty Arbuckle, and the death of Olive Thomas, they decided to run with whatever rumors they had. Arbuckle never got the justice he deserved, and Mabel Normand was retired by 1926, following a bout with TB that led to her death at the young age of 36. These scandals caught the imaginations of religious people across the US, and Hollywood took notice. This then led William Hays to create the Hays Code in 1930 with the help of the Catholic Church. But before the Hays Code become what we all know it as, the pre-code era would itself sensationalize divorce, drug use, premarital relations, villains could win, and heroes could die. That's next on the Quiet Riot. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch and or listen to this. I highly appreciate it. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much for returning. And if you really like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me out. And subscribe and ring that bell to be notified every single time I post if you like me and want to see more of me on this channel. Feel free to comment below or ask any questions and leave them in the comments. I would love to hear from you. I will be doing more on censorship in film and television, both in the US and abroad. So if you have any interesting facts or things you would like to cover, please let me know. I will be returning to discussing moral panics in the 1980s specifically, and we're also hearing quite a bit more about the Satanic Panic and what's currently happening now in the US. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.